Across modern physics, a quiet but profound shift is underway. Time is no longer treated as a universal background that exists independently of everything else. Instead, growing theoretical and experimental work suggests that time may emerge only when systems interact, record change, and register difference. In this view, time is not something the universe simply has. Time is something that appears when there are observers, or observer-like systems, capable of distinguishing one state from another. If this is true, the implications are far-reaching. They affect not only physics, but identity, agency, and how humans understand their place in reality. They also align directly with the central thesis of Humans Actuators of Time, that humans do not merely occupy time, but participate in creating its structure through perception, memory, and choice. Time as a relational phenomenon in classical physics. Time is treated as absolute, a steady parameter ticking uniformly regardless of who observes it. Einstein disrupted this view by showing that time depends on motion and gravity. Quantum mechanics went further, using time as a parameter without fully explaining what time itself is. More recent theoretical approaches suggest an even deeper possibility. Time may not exist meaningfully unless there is a system capable of registering change. Without correlation, comparison, or memory, there is no coherent sense in which before and after can be distinguished. Under this framework, time is not a river flowing independently of the world. It is a relational structure that arises when systems interact and information is recorded. Events do not simply occur in time. They become temporally ordered only when there is a mechanism to differentiate them. This does not mean the universe is static without observers. It means that sequence, duration, and temporal direction require registration. Time, information, and record-keeping. One reason physicists take observer-dependent time seriously is the central role of information in modern theories. Fundamental descriptions increasingly focus on correlations, how systems encode states, preserve records, and interact across boundaries. From this perspective, time is not a standalone dimension. It is a description of how information persists and propagates. What we call the flow of time may be the result of information becoming embedded in physical systems, leaving traces that allow states to be compared. Where there is no record, there is no sequence. Where there is no comparison, there is no duration. Time emerges where information sticks. From physics to human experience, if time only becomes meaningful through interaction and registration, then human beings are not peripheral to time. They are central to it. Human cognition is exceptionally good at doing exactly what time requires. Distinguishing, change, storing records, comparing states, projecting possibilities. This is the foundation of humans. Actuators of time. Humans do not merely witness time passing. They actively construct temporal order through memory, attention, and narrative. Memory connects moments into continuity. Anticipation opens future possibility. Interpretation assigns meaning. Choice collapses uncertainty into sequence. These are not passive processes. They are acts of temporal construction, where time actually appears. In many physical models, observers are treated as external to the system being studied. But if time itself arises only when events are registered, then observers are not outside time. They are part of the mechanism that makes time intelligible. In lived experience, time appears as remembered past, attended present, anticipated future. This structure is not dictated by clocks. It is produced by minds capable of recording change and organizing it into narrative. Physics may explain why entropy increases. It does not explain why a memory matters. That work is done by cognition, the observer, and the flow of time. If time requires registration, then the observer is not a passive witness. The observer is a participant in time's emergence. This does not mean humans create physical law. It does mean that time as experienced, as sequence, urgency, regret, hope, responsibility, is co-produced by physical interaction and human cognition. Clocks measure intervals. Equations describe correlations. Humans give moments identity. Without memory, there is no past. Without anticipation, there is no future. Without attention, There is no present, human agency and temporal responsibility seeing. Time is relational rather than absolute, changes how agency is understood. Time is no longer a conveyor belt carrying us forward. It becomes a structure we help maintain. What we attend to becomes foreground. What we remember becomes history. What we choose becomes destiny. This is the core insight of humans, actuators of time. Time is not merely a stage on which life happens. It is a medium shaped through participation, where this inquiry continues. Dare I say publishing? These questions about observers, time, meaning, and agency are central to the ongoing work of Dare I Say Publishing. Dare I Say Publishing exists to explore the space where physics, philosophy, cognition, and lived experience intersect. It is not interested in reducing time to equations alone, nor in dissolving it into abstraction. Its focus is on how time becomes real where humans live, remember, and choose. At dareasaypublishing.com, you'll find essays expanding on time, agency, and human participation, books including Humans Actuators of Time, visual and short-form explorations of complex ideas, a growing body of work examining how meaning emerges in a non-absolute universe. If time is not simply given, then engaging with ideas is itself an act in time. And if observers help bring time into being, then understanding time is inseparable from understanding ourselves. Time does not merely pass, it appears, where something remembers, compares, and chooses.